Okay, so I've just finished making the video for the sort of racking bit I put on the back of my lathe. First thing I'm going to do is actually going to put this light fitting onto it so I can use this movable one elsewhere. This is something that I got from IKEA's the cheap zone that they have at the end with broken stuff. I think this was missing the bracket for the bottom, which is quite handy because basically I need to drill out the two holes to M5, I think, put in a couple of the special sliding T-nuts into here and fix it into place. So that's that. I have got some plastic film stuff, mirror basically, and that's going to go on the inside. So I have found that the ceramic kind of coating that they've put inside doesn't reflect a lot of light. I've tested it with these and it makes quite a substantial difference to how bright it is. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to get a slightly brighter bulb to go in it, but I don't know how obvious that is to you. I light up my face with them both in, and then that's with both of them out, so you can see there's quite a bit of light drop. So we're going to drill out this, mount it, and then the next step is to make some brackets that are going to go on this lower shelf that are going to hold all of my quick change tool posts. So I'll explain the quick change tool posts as I get to them. Go do this first. So drilling out the holes on this, not a problem. 2 5mm holes. I was thinking that this will probably fit there quite nicely, which means I've got some vertical adjustment and there's a pivot point here, so it can twist like that as I need it, but it means it'll be closest here. Whereas it's up here, it's a little bit further away. I've got the horizontal adjustment, but it's unnecessarily far away, and then it frees up this entire shelf for anything else I want to do. So step is to put them in here, or possibly on the side here. One of the reasons I'm reluctant to do it on the front is I'm going to have to undo at least one of these to drop one of the little T-nuts down. Where I do it on the side, that's free, gives me the adjustment there and the adjustment there, so I think that's a winner. We'll do that. I've got some 90-degree right angle steel bar in the corner of the garage, which I haven't used for quite a long time, so I've still got plenty of it left. My plan is, this is just a demo piece, but the stuff I've got is slightly thicker. Plan is to cut off some sections about this sort of size, and I'll be able to drill a hole through and use the same T-nuts that secure the bars on here. And then what I'll have is I'll have the various holders here, and I'll cut the back half of this to fit into the slots that run through there. I'll put some nice 45 degrees on the top of this just so that it'll find its home position nice and easily. Hopefully the weight won't cause it to spin, but if it's wide enough I can potentially add 2 T-nuts to stop it from rotating. But basically they'll then just drop on like this and sit like so. One thing that is worth noting, if you're coming up with your own designs, so here I've got a boring bar, and the last operation I did I had to have it poking out quite far, so I don't really want to have to go and fiddle with it too much. So the plan is, if I mount it on the lowest possible section but still covering the full bar, this full reach still has a little bit of clearance before it hits the wall. So as you can see, I'll just have to take off a bit on the upright here and here, and I'll just put some 45s there and there just so it finds its home position nice and easy. So this is about the longest tool I've got. The only other thing I've got that's about a similar sort of size is my knurling tools, which again it sort of hangs over just like that sort of size, and if I put it on the equivalent place on the tool holder, I am going to have to come up with a bit more room. So I might have to make a special one that is extra long, so it hangs down here, and then all of this top bit will be missing. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it with this special instance, but the rest of them should be about that sort of size, and I'll measure up for what I need to cut out of this, drill some holes and get fitting. One more thing before I go running off and start making. I've decided I'm going to make this one first because it's going to be a one-off special. I'm going to measure it up to get a general size, and the reason I'm going to do this one first is because it's a special instance. So I'm going to have to make a special version effectively for this, so it seems like a perfect opportunity to test out various stuff anyway, as the chance of messing it up's a lot higher. So I've measured it. It's about 56-57mm from the top edge of this until I reach the lower section here that the right angle bracket's going to go in, and then all of from here forward on the right angle bracket will just have to get sort of taken out. So yeah, so any mistakes that I make on this I can then transfer onto the new design that I'll be doing for all of these, which will be slightly smaller. Okay, so this is straight off the bandsaw. So as you saw, I just cut in on the two edges, and I've still got a bit of a lip here, so that can probably come off with a bit of a file, but this is it straight off. So hopefully with a test fit, that will fit in that gap there. There we go. It's wow, that's a very close fit. So what I'll do is I'll just chamfer the corners so that I don't have to get it quite as accurate, so it'll slot on and then find its way home. At the moment this particular tool is catching just on this lower edge, so I might just take no more than about 1 millimetre or so off this front edge here, just to give it that clearance, but otherwise this looks like the design is good to go. So I'm going to make a whole handful more of them. And that hole there, in case it wasn't obvious, is the hole that the bolt will go through to secure it to the rail. Okay, just a quick update. I've taken it outside, hit it with the angle grinder to take off these two corner pieces, and then use the angle grinder with a flap disc just to go around and sand it all. I've got some sandpaper here just to go over it as a final touch, and then afterwards I'm going to use some sort of gun bluing type compound to turn it blue, black, and then oil it up, and that should be this one finished. Then put it on the rack shelf thing that I've made, test it, and if it works I'm going to make a whole handful more. Okay, the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed I've put the 45-degree chamfer on the two edges. However, when I take the one that I have already done and I've kind of half blued it, it didn't turn out very well. I forgot to make one of the cuts. So all of this section needs to come out. So I've scribed it, going to cut that off camera, and then re-put the 45-degree on this bit and go from there. Okay, so this is the result after cold bluing, and either it's really disappointing, the chemical I've got, or I've done a really crappy job of it. So hopefully it's showing up there. That one's kind of got a bit of a black surface to it in the centre here, but as soon as it gets to the outside edge it's kind of a brown, with a few spots of silver, and on the back there's a slight colour to it. Big blocks of silver again, and some of these like that. It's awful. So either I've done a really bad job of cleaning it up with the white spirit, or I've just not applied it very well. So like there, the black's fairly well distributed. I'm not sure why or what I've done wrong, but it's all covered in oil, so I'm just going to have some ugly looking brackets until I take them off and retry it. But I don't fancy doing that just yet. I want to get this project done because I want to move on to the next big thing. So I'm just going to fit them and then edit this video together. Okay, I am glad that this project is over. I thought it was going to be a nice and simple one, and in many respects it was. But cutting the brackets out was a little bit tedious, and the cold bluing process I'm actually really disappointed, so I will go back and revisit it at some point, just not immediately. So they're all done. I do have one spare one just here. That's probably for this tool holder that's currently on the machine, so that way I don't have to worry about lifting one off before I put a new one on, which in theory means that I can put the original 4-way tool post on if I want to do lots of knurling or something. So overall I'm fairly pleased. It does what I've wanted it to. I am going to order a couple of better countersunk nuts to put on there just to neaten it up. But overall I'm quite pleased. Certainly room for expansion for more tools, more shelves. So if you enjoyed it, please do consider giving a thumbs up and subscribing if you enjoy my videos and find them useful. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!